What's going on, guys? Lawson Turner back with another episode of the Cover 2 podcast, and we are going over the game that just ended. The Dallas Mavericks are moving on to the second round, and they'll face the top seed Oklahoma City Thunder after a 114 to 101 win over the Los Angeles Clippers. The series kind of went exactly how I thought it would be. Luka and Kyrie would be sensational, and as well as James Harden and Paul George could play through 5 games, didn't really matter in this game. They both played bad. Harden, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 13 assists. Stat, just PRA, points, rebounds, assists, looked great. Looked great. Shot 5 of 16 and 0 for 6 from 3. Bad. Let's dive into, I already kind of, dived into James Harden, so let's dive into everybody else. There's not really much to tell about this game if you watched it. The Clippers came out and they just looked like they were just tee-heeing around. Didn't look like they wanted to be there. They gave up 10 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. In the first quarter, which that showed to me, well, you don't. One team just didn't show up to play at first. Then they go on a 19-4 run from the 6:11 mark to the 24-second mark left in the second quarter, and they were tied at 52 at half. Now Kyrie only had 2 points in the first half, and he ended with 30. He had 28 in the second half and was outstanding. He was outstanding. Kyrie Irving, when he gets in a rhythm, he can shoot the figgity hell out of the ball, and he can get into the lane and finish with either hand. We know he's one of the best point guard finishers or finishers in general in NBA history. His touch around the rim, his touch getting into the lane. We know his handles are insane. He hit an and 1-3 to in the like towards the dagger part of the fourth over PJ Tucker, who got the start tonight for the Clippers, and it was Dallas exploded with every Kyrie shimmy and every Kyrie three and every point he scored, and every time that the league grew and grew and grew, Dallas's crowd was getting into it. Dallas's defense, that to me, that's been the story of the whole series. Dallas is arguably a defensive team now. They have length, they have heart, they have people that want to play defense now. It wasn't like that when over the first couple years of Luka's career. They were an offensive team. If they're not hitting threes, then what more else do they do? We saw Luka and PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. get into Paul George and Harden. Now, no Kawhi for 3 games hurts a lot because when healthy, which that's a big question mark, he's one of the best two-way players in the NBA. We know that, but that's the thing. If you're not healthy, the best ability is availability, and if I can't depend on you to play in the playoffs, it's like what use are you to me? Like he's a fantastic player, fantastic. But if I can't depend on you in May, in June, I I have nothing for you. I have nothing for you. PJ Washington had a nice game, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Great. Now to transition to the 2 players for the Clippers I didn't mention yet. Paul George, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and a block. 6 for 18, 33%, 2 for 10 from 3. Piss poor. It it got ugly. And I know the they were up 24. The Mavs were up 24 in the fourth. Now the Clippers did go on an 18-6 run that made the game a little closer than what it was in the fourth, but it still was just an ass kicking by Dallas. Now the third player I was going to mention was Ivica Zubac, had 17 points, 11 rebounds, nice game. Dallas had 18 offensive rebounds that led to 21 second chance points. 10 of those came in the first quarter, like I mentioned earlier. Rebounding is hard, and wanting it and will. I need that. I want that rebound more than you want it. And the Clippers had 16 offensive rebounds, which is good, and led to 16 points. But to come out just lethargic, and it didn't seem as if they were motivated and wanted to go back to LA. It looked like, oh, our season ends tonight, and it's okay. That's what it looked like to me. James Harden was their in the first quarter. James Harden was 1 for 5, 0 for 3 from three, but shot 4 free throws, so he was getting into the lane and stuff and things of that nature. But it's just 43 minutes and James Harden 5 of 16, 0 for 6 from three, bad. Paul George 42 minutes, 6 for 18, 2 for 10 from three, bad. They were just flat out bad. Like I said, this was a tied game at half. It was a tied game at half, and then Mavs going 18-6 from the 11:33 mark to the 5:49 mark. And Dallas is a really, really good defensive team. They have length. They have wing defenders. They have Maxi Kleba got hurt with that. It looked bad, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's out for the rest of the playoffs because it just looked bad, and that sucks for their front court due to they're not a very big team. Like they have good centers that are good for screening and they're athletic, but they just need a little bit more size. Now they're not going to need it against OKC because OKC's not a big team. But that is a prediction for another day when we go over the OKC and Dallas Mavericks series, which should be a hell of a series. Well, that's all I have for you guys today for this this game and series finale. That's what it was. The Clippers are going home, and the Dallas Mavericks advance. Well, thank you guys for watching for the Cover 2 podcast. I'm Lawson Turner, and be sure to check us out on Twitter to stay up to date with the show and interact with us during these playoff games. We live tweet during these games, and I would love to interact with all of you on social media, especially Twitter. Well, thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.